What I have here is an eggplant that I put in the freezer, pre-composted for the worms. So I'm just gonna chop these up in small pieces. So here are my eggshells that I just baked. These are from my mother. She collects the eggshells. I baked it in a 350-degree oven, and I did it for about 20 minutes. And it's right out of the oven, so it's really still hot. It gets rid of the mold or any other germs that bacteria, whatever had grown in there while it was in the bag, in a plastic bag where she was collecting them for me. So this I love this Ninja chopper. This is my favorite. I use it for everything. So you're just gonna run it through until it becomes really powdery, maybe the consistency of, what is this, cornmeal maybe. Oops. And then just pour it inside the container, and this is a lot. They don't need that much grit, but they do need the grit because they don't have teeth to chew, so that helps them digest their food. So just from that little one container of this makes so much already. This is like 2 containers worth, or 3. You can also use this as calcium source for your plants. You can add this to your cactus mix when you repot your plants, and it will provide the calcium that your plants will need to grow. So none of the foods that we have at home will ever go to waste, because here's bread that has moldy bread. So what I did is just stuck it in the oven for, I don't know, about 10-15 minutes, and to make it really hard, kind of crunchy. And then I'm gonna put it in my chopper here. So I have this nice carb yumminess for my worms. Here's an update to my vermicomposting. So I've been feeding my worms only on this side. So if you dig farther down on the right side, you can see that it is very deep right here. Okay, so it's very deep right here. You can see how deep it is from the top, because I have not been feeding my worms on this side. But you can see here it's going up because it's being pushed all the way here. The reason for that, why this is so deep, is because I'm only feeding the worms on this side and just leaving this for more room later. So once this one goes all the way up, like almost to the end of this hole, I'm gonna start feeding on this side of the container. So I'm just gonna push this aside. But if you can see, this one's already almost full. Look, it's so high up. So let's see what's going on this side. There's still food in there. So I wear gloves because I'm squeamish. I don't like to touch worms. So here you can see that here's a corn cob, and there you can see this is almost gone. It's very flimsy. They've been eating it. Look, they've been eating that. But I'm just gonna leave it there in case they still want to munch on it. And we go. There they are. Squigglers. Hey, squigglers. I had a dream that these guys were so big. Okay, so we still have food here. They haven't chewed on that yet. The reason I know is because I can still see the what do you call that? The grits. Oh look, something's growing in there. Maybe I'll take this and plant it outside somewhere. That might be something, I don't know. But I've been feeding them melons. But look at them. Ooh, there they are. So this one's almost all the way to the end of that hole. This is my indication that it's getting. So I have all this casting, and apparently they haven't eaten all of it. And the reason why I wear gloves is not just because I'm squeamish, but maybe that's my excuse, but also because you don't want your oils from your hands to get onto your worms, because they breathe through their skin. Let's see what's going on here. Ugh. They're all in there. I had 1,000, so I don't know if they're making babies. Hopefully they are. I still don't see cocoons, but they said the cocoons will come in the spring. So there they all are. It's really nice and wet in there, so I'm not going to wet anymore. They are my little workers. So I'm just gonna leave all this here and cover it back up. I'll have the date posted on part of this video so you know how long it's been. But look, they're already pushing it. See how high it is here now? They're already pushing most of the castings on this side. And if you look, this is almost 3/4 of the way. So I'm gonna have to start feeding them on this side. As soon as that food gets consumed on the left side, I'm going to start feeding them on this side, and then harvesting all the castings on this side, and then do it over again, back and forth, back and forth. The next video, I'm going to show you how I feed my worms. So now that I've put some of that husk, the coconut husk right there. This one even feels like, it feels like it's already compost, but it's not. So I'm just gonna lay that there. I'm not gonna put any food on this side yet. Just to give the little ones a chance to find the food on the other side. Because actually I might. So let me just go and get some of my feed stuff, just so they have something to eat when they hatch. just a little bit. So this is steer manure that I'm going to spread around like this. I don't know, I might get some comments about this not being the right way. I'm very new at this, but trying the best that I can. And I'm not gonna do too much. And this is worm grit right here. And it's just a combination of oatmeal, crushed oatmeal or powdered oatmeal, and supposedly they like this stuff. Powdered oatmeal, here I have some previously frozen chopped up vegetable scraps, vegetables and fruit scrap that I'm going to spread all over this one side of the bin. The eggshells were previously added because worms don't have teeth, and the only way to digest this food is if we chop it up this small and like almost a puree, and then adding some eggshells will help ground up and process the food in their gizzards. I now add some more steer manure just to cover it up so the little critters won't get to it or try to get it at the food, like the gnats and the mites. Mites, not mice. Red mites. And I'm just going to cover it back up with some more paper. Also, don't forget to spray a little bit of water since it's dry. They need this bin to be a little bit moist. And I just keep the lid off of it because they don't really, if they're happy in their home, they don't really try to climb up or crawl out. And you run into a little bit more problems if you close the bin with the lid and then it gets too much moisture in there, and then they start to try to crawl out of the bin to get to some air. So it's better if you just leave it. And this bin right here is in my kitchen. I've had no problems. I have a little worms here and there trying to escape, but I don't know why. There are just some worms that just like to go for an adventure. My whole goal is to make this worm bin as happy as it could be. The worms in here, because look, I have a straggler or an escapee, and he died. So I don't know what's going on here, but I don't want this bin to be an unhappy bin, an unhappy bin. So I'm just gonna not fight it anymore, and I'm just gonna feed the whole bin so everybody's happy. They have they're not fighting over the food. And what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna do stackables. So I'm gonna, once this is full, I'm gonna stack it again to another bin, and then replace or empty that one out once they're all up on the second one. So because I think that doing it this way, they don't have enough food, so they're probably fighting over it. I kind of scraped along that side right there to see how much worms there is. I didn't see a lot, so I don't know if they've been dying or what's been happening, but maybe they're just clumped together in one side, but I'll show you. So now I have all this food. I put a layer. First of all, I checked this side to make sure that my original steer manure and the peat moss was not disturbed, and so it wasn't, and I saw that, and I don't know what that is. Anyway, it's the leftover coffee on top, and then I put the food on top of that. So now I'm doing my warm grits, the vitamins, and the eggshells. But I did see a lot of worms that are pregnant. So I don't know if I can show you that, if it'll show up, but I'm just going to do the grit here. On this side. So everybody's happy. Once they move here, maybe today or tomorrow, I'm going to add some more food on the other side. Looks like there's still some in there, but you never know by tomorrow if it's going to be gone. And then I have my eggshells here. That's to just add some grit because they are not able to absorb or absorb the food. So now so I'm gonna cover that up, cover this back up, then everybody's gonna migrate to this side, and then tomorrow I'm gonna add some more food. Hopefully I don't overfeed them, but I'm gonna aerate this side again. See, there's still some food here. I can feel it. Actually, yeah, there's some food still there. It hasn't been consumed. But you see there's some worms on top. Crowley. Oh, here they all are. Thank you for watching my channel and hope you come back soon. Next up, harvesting the worm castings.